Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a drugstore version of the latte makeup look. I don't know if you've seen this going, I guess, viral. It's very popular right now on social media. It's essentially, if you haven't seen it, it's essentially like a very bronzy makeup look. Maybe slightly less like warm toned and a little bit more neutral in terms of like the bronze tones. I feel like it's traceable to one person who coined the term, but I don't know who that person is. So if anybody knows, let me know in the comments down below. So I just washed my face with a cream cleanser this morning and applied my Avène moisturizer like I typically do. My skin is well hydrated. The only thing I'm going to do is use a little bit of the e.l.f. liquid poreless putty primer in the center of my face. If you hear lots of like random noises, my boyfriend is currently getting ready to go on a work trip. So he's like running around packing and doing laundry and stuff. I actually filmed this yesterday and the footage just turned out like garbage. So I'm refilming it. Somebody suggested, because I think I just swiped it when I first used it that first time. I'm gonna swipe it on and then press. Once it's like evenly distributed. Okay, for me, the first thing that I'm gonna do is very predictable. I'm going to color correct underneath my eyes with my LA Girl Pro Conceal in light ivory. I have not been sleeping, so I just want to color correct a little bit of these dark circles. Okay, next I'm gonna prime my eyes with my e.l.f. Sheer Eye Primer, which is personally my favorite drugstore eye primer. And I'm gonna do this before my foundation just so that I have something I can like blend into that eye primer, you know? Okay, for foundation, my favorite personally recently for drugstore has been the Rimmel Lasting Finish foundation. It's SPF 20, it's full coverage. I'm using the shade 103 True Ivory. It's very similar to me, the finish, to the Very Valentino foundation. I actually said I was gonna do a side-by-side. Do you still wanna see that? Because I'll do that. And I'm using the e.l.f. makeup sponge, this one. I don't know, it's got like a hard edge on it. It's pretty similar to the Real Techniques one. I'm gonna start in the center of my face, where I need a little more coverage. Slowly blend this out and build it up. My skin's been looking really nice recently, so with the exception of some dry skin around my nose, which hopefully doesn't show up. I'm just slowly blending that out into the outer perimeter of my face. Just want to make sure that I have like nice cohesive color in my skin tone. And then I'm going to go in with a tiny little bit more in any areas where I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. All right, concealer. True? What? Tried and true is the word I was looking for. L'Oreal Infallible. This is in, is it just ivory? I always forget. Yeah, just ivory. This is a nice full coverage concealer. So I'm really gonna conceal my under eyes. This is a very bronzy, kind of like effortlessly flawless makeup look. It's one of those. So I'm just gonna make sure that I have like good coverage, but I'm not gonna use like a ton of concealer because I just don't need it. Do I wanna do my chin? No, my chin's like naturally highlighted. Why would I do that? So this concealer is just like a little bit lighter than my skin tone. It's not like a ridiculously highlighting concealer, you know, but it is gonna help add some depth and shape to the face, giving those eyes a nice lift, you know? I haven't used a sponge this big in such a long time. It feels very unnatural, but it's pretty good. Oof, I don't know about this though. Just gonna blend that out with a brush first, just so I have that precision. Take that along the side of my nose, into the hollow, basically like this whole area. You can take your concealer all the way up to your like lower lash line if you want to, but like you don't need to because this is like a very smoky eye look. We're gonna be covering up that lower lash line anyway. This like exact makeup look was like my go-to makeup look for years, probably like, I don't know, 6 to 3 years ago. All right, I'm gonna mist, now that that's blended, I know it looks crazy. I'm gonna mist the Stay All Night e.l.f. mist onto my e.l.f. sponge. Pat it out so it's not too much, and then go over top of that. Okay, so I'm gonna contour using the e.l.f. Halo Glow wand. This is in Fair Light, which is more of a contour color for me. Could be a bronzer if you're like really, really fair. I'm gonna use this to add shape to the face. So this look is really dependent on your contour and bronzer. I'm gonna blend that out using the e.l.f. What do I wanna use? e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. I'm just gonna pick that up directly with the brush to build it up a bit more. You guys, I don't like using not my brush for this. Under and along the jawline. Okay, I'm using this little Wet n Wild brush. I think this came in a set. I don't know which brush this is exactly, but I'll try to link the set to contour my lips and nose. So I'm just gonna pick this up directly with the brush. The dryer is so loud right now. I was looking at how I used to contour my nose recently, and I think I'm gonna bring it back. I just kind of like stopped like doing it as much. Like it was just very general, and now like because I have a bumpy nose, I have to be a little bit more intentional with my placement, and I stopped doing that. And I think I'm going full glam again, you guys. It's just tough when you have a bumpy nose, you know? Okay, for bronzer, wait, what do I want to use for bronzer? For bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow contour stick in light medium, which is just like a little bit warmer if you compare to Fair. Now you wanna make sure that your bronzer is gonna be like way too orange. Otherwise this look is not gonna look right. You also wanna make sure that you're warming up your skin enough. Otherwise it will also not look right. Now I'm gonna bring my bronzer up a little higher than where my contour was, and I'm gonna warm up just this area. I'm not gonna go into the hollow of the cheek, kind of bringing it just like up onto the cheek, almost as if it were a blush. So you really wanna make sure that you're bronzing up those cheeks. I'm just taking whatever's left over around my jawline because I want this warmth to kind of hug all of my face. And then just blending a little bit down my neck. I'm gonna set my under eyes using my e.l.f. Halo Glow powder, like always. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. highlighting brush. I just wanna make sure that I'm well blended, no creases. I'm just gonna go in with a tiny bit of this. Make sure that area stays put. If you're not making a crazy face to set your under eyes, you're not doing it right, okay? That's all I have to say about that. Okay, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of that powder and I'm just gonna use that to set my lids, just kind of like buff over that eye primer because I can feel a little bit too much moisture and I want to be able to blend easily. I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of the banana powder from Joa, like literally the tiniest amount, because I really just don't need a ton of powder right now. I'm just going to place it right here, the center of my face, just where like I tend to get oil. Now I'm just going to reinforce those creams with a little bit of the Maybelline City Bronzer. So using the e.l.f. blush brush, I'm just going to do a light dusting of this pretty much everywhere, like all around the perimeter of my face, all the areas that I applied contour and bronzer, because this is a very bronzy makeup look. I want to make sure that everything is lasting and setting, especially because I didn't use a setting powder everywhere. So I'm using a very light hand. I'm dusting this basically everywhere. I'm going to build it up onto the cheeks and then just dust it around the outer perimeter of my face. I don't know why I keep leaning that way. Okay, and then to highlight, I'm gonna use Golden Flower Crown from Wet n Wild. I'm just dusting off my e.l.f. highlighting brush to highlight. And I'm gonna place this in like kind of a general motion all around my cheeks. So up onto the cheekbone where I bronzed, up to my temple, and just above my brow. I wanna just kind of like hit this whole area. I'm not gonna take it too low on the cheeks, but I want this that whole cheek area to just like glow with that bronze. So for my eyes, I'm gonna use the LA Girl The Nudist palette. I'm gonna start off with this kind of like khaki shade right here. And I'm using this once again, a Wet n Wild blending brush that came from that set. I don't know what it is, but I'll link the set. And I'm just gonna use this to kick out that crease. So kind of like pressing it all along around the eye socket. And then slowly with circular motions, I'm gonna blend it up and out towards the brow. I'm gonna bring it in to the brow. This is the kind of look where like if you wanna smoke completely up into your eyebrows, like go for it. Like if you have hooded eyes, you can basically just put this color all over your lid and up into your brows. The actual color and depth of the shadow is gonna depend greatly on your skin tone, but try to think in terms of maybe like a couple shades darker than your bronzer or contour. Somewhere like between your bronzer and contour in terms of like color family. Now a lot of these makeup looks I've seen have been a little bit more matte, but a lot have been like all shimmer eyeshadow. So it's really kind of like up to you what you wanna do here. I'm starting off with a matte because I just want like a little bit more dimension in my eye look. So I'm taking my time building that up. You could just place it like all over the lid and then like blend it up to your eyebrow, like I said, for hooded eyes. So I'm taking whatever's left over on my brush and literally just like blending that up into my eyebrows. For my lower lash line, I'm gonna grab this like, I don't know, fat shader brush, again from that Wet n Wild collection bundle. And I'm gonna grab that same khaki color. I'm gonna look up and just press this all along my lower lash line from the inner to outer corner. And then once I have that pressed down, I'm just going to buff it downward as low as you want to go, basically as low as you're like comfortable with. But this is really a smoky eye, so you can go as low as you want. Just make sure that you're keeping it balanced with the upper lid. Okay, I want to create like a little bit more dimension on the lids. So rather than just using that color everywhere, I'm going to, which actually if you want to make this like kind of a almost naked lid, you can just take that brush that you applied this color with and just kind of like whatever's left over, just buff it onto the lid so that it looks like undone but done, you know? But I'm going to use shimmer. So I'm going to mix this color right here with this one because this one's a little too dark, this one's a little too light. I want something like kind of in between. So I'm just gonna pat back and forth between those two colors. And I'm gonna press this all over the lid. I personally think that the less like foiled it is, the better. So you might wanna use something a little bit more, like with a little bit more sheen. I would say go sheen to matte. I don't know why, that's just how I feel. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Golden Flower Crown from Wet n Wild, and I have this little e.l.f. Wing It eyeliner brush, which is very interesting. I haven't used it for eyeliner yet, but I am going to use it because it's very small and precise to highlight my inner corner. So I'm just going to focus it like right there. I don't want to blow it out too much. And then just kind of fade it into the lid and inner part of the lower lash line, just like that. This is actually a really good brush for this. Okay, I'm gonna set my brows with my Pears soap. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in Ash Brown. Those are sexy eyebrows, goddamn. Like, sorry about it. Okay, for my lips, I'm going to line them using Nude Beige from NYX, which I haven't used in a minute. Should probably sharpen this. I'm gonna slightly overline, but keep these like relatively natural looking. All the looks I've seen are basically like very natural looking, like kind of pink nudie lips. I don't think I'm gonna use any lipstick. I was considering using a lipstick, but I just feel like all of them have been like glossy. So I'm gonna go, the only gloss I have from drugstore is the e.l.f. Plumping Gloss in Pink Sugar. So that's what I'm gonna apply. Okay, I just applied a few coats of mascara. It wasn't drugstore, don't hate me. I cheated a little bit because I filmed something else really quick. So this is the finished makeup look, up close and personal. Do we look like a latte? What do you think? I think it's gorge. I love it. I think I'm gonna have to like start doing it again. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this drugstore latte makeup tutorial. I love it. I love it a lot. I like remember when I used to like love these tones. It was always my go-to like event makeup look because it's like reliable. You look glam, but also it's kind of effortless looking. I'm warming up to this gloss. I hate the plumping, but it looks so pretty. All right, guys, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment letting me know. It's loud. And subscribe and turn on notifications and all the things that help me out that are super annoying for you to do, but you love me, I think. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what you think of this background. Is this okay? I keep changing it. The whole reason I had to refilm was because yesterday I changed my background. I thought it looked nice. Looks like shit. Bruh. I'm gonna go make lunch, but I will see you in the comments and also in the next video, hopefully. Bye. Bye. Have you guys seen that? I don't know if it was a TikTok or a reel or whatever, it's probably everywhere, where somebody, what's the caption? The caption is like, my cat really just said, well, hi, in a Southern accent. And they like turn the corner and their cat meows, but it sounds like it's going, well, hi. It's not funny when you explain it. I'll try to find it. I'm gonna go now.